Hello, friends. Welcome. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. This is awesome. Welcome to the CA Mastermind today. I'm so excited about today's topic. And what we're going to do today, as people are logging on, we're going to switch it up a little bit. As you see people logging on, we're going to answer some questions in the chat box. So we're jumping right into a writing assignment. And I'm going to put some questions here in the chat box to all. Here comes Erin. So many people jumping on. This is awesome. Okay. So as you're logging on, the first thing we're going to do today is jump into a writing assignment and answer these questions in the chat box. In the month of February, I am most proud of myself for, even if you can't think of something, give yourself if I had to pick, what would it be? And your assignment right now is to type out your answers and actually put them in the chat for other people to see. So, and that's also going to help me know when everyone's done with the assignment. So, first question, in the month of February, I'm most proud of myself for what? So, you just reflect back on your month thus far. Same thing in the month of February. My favorite patient interaction was with who? And why was that? Because what? And then in the month of February, I learned blank. And the last one, and I really, even if you're like, I'm not sure, I don't know, or I'm new, I really want you to dig deep on this one and think about it. In the past, when I blank, it helped attract more new patients. So if you really think about it, what have you done in the past that contributed to more new patients? Maybe an action, maybe something you brought to the table, maybe an idea. So in the past, when I blank, it helped attract more new patients. Okay, awesome. So I'm going to give you guys, I'll put some chill music on, give you a few minutes to do this awesome assignment here, this writing assignment. And then again, when you're finished, put it in the chat. So make sure that you hit send in the chat box. And even if you're logged in from your phone, you can just go to the chat, the little message symbol, and see what's going on in there. Send in the chat. Awesome. We have more people logging in. Awesome. Brittany, if you're with us, if you could transfer the questions also to Facebook. So those watching on Facebook, same thing. You'll just answer in Facebook chat versus our chat here on the Zoom. But everybody that's here on the Zoom, I definitely expect to see your answers in the Zoom chat. And just hit send when you have those. Nice work. Yay, nice. We've got one. Beautiful. And Erin, don't forget to answer the rest of the questions in the chat.
Can you just repeat what the questions were?
Oh, sure. Can you see them in the chat, Erin?
No, I don't see them.
Oh, no. Okay, let me repost them because maybe if you logged in,
I was wicked late.
if it was after I posted. Let me repost. Sorry about that, guys. Everyone's trying to go off memory.
Now I see them.
Okay, perfect. So 4 questions in the chat. Whole body health chiropractic, Rita and Miranda. And Brittany, make sure you answer in the chat. Awesome. Thanks, guys. And then once you're done, read each other's because you may get some really awesome new patient ideas. Hey, Sierra, welcome. We are doing a writing assignment. So in the chat, you'll find 4 questions to answer and then write your answers in the chat and submit them when you're ready. And then once I see everybody's answers, we'll move on to the next thing. 4 questions. Woohoo, we got whole body health. These are so good. If you're already done, start reading other people's. Nice. Ah, Miranda got engaged. Congratulations. Beautiful. So while Sierra's typing up, go ahead and read everybody else's here. Okay, well, we're waiting for Sierra's to come through. I want to highlight a couple brilliant things that you guys put in these chats for, oh, here's Sierra's, yay, for attracting new patients. Because I know as you've logged in, you're not able to see anything posted in the chat before you logged in. So for attracting more new patients, we have a focus on patient education and redirecting negative energy to positive on patients walking in the office each and every day. These are so good. I want to post this whole chat for other offices to learn from. These are brilliant, guys. I learned how to set up boundaries in the office with scheduling and payments. This way it works. The way it works in our office is, yes, that was straight from the mastermind. That's amazing. So that's where you can simply use that phrase to set up boundaries. Sorry about the backlighting, guys. This is pretty horrible. Let me shift. I'm not at my office location. No, that's not much better. I'll step into the light. Okay, so beautiful. And then we've got favorite patient interaction. Let's see what they did for new patients. Um, More new. I'm reading all the new patient ones. Okay, so here in the past, when I was more attentive, it helped attract new patients. That's so good. And thank you for your honesty. It helped attract new patients when we went to the expo and our local events as a team. Yes, brilliant here. Yes. When I release the stress of what is to come, it helps attract more new patients. Okay, so here's the brilliant pattern that I want to point out in everything that you guys shared. Do you notice that nothing was like push, push, action, we must do more, and we need to do this and this and this and this and this for more new patients? Did you guys notice that? Across the board, every single one of you shared like what you brought to the table, right? And shared how your energy, your focus is directly related to patient count, is directly related to new patients coming in. And it does make a difference. Like you shifting your focus, you shifting your state does bring in more new patients, whether that be there in the office or out at an expo. So today's topic, as most of you know, is double digit new patients. So do me a favor, go ahead and throw in the chat if you are always at double digit new patients. So do you have at least 10 new patients a week on your calendar? So just put yes or no if that's like an average, and then we can kind of check and see what our offices are doing here. Yes or no? Do you have on average 10 or more new patients? No, no, no. Oh, you guys are breaking my heart, but I'm glad you're here. No. Okay, perfect. So that's what we're going to work on today is making that a standard, like a minimum standard is always double digit new patients. Because I got to tell you, like, that is freedom. If you have 10, like, imagine having 10 new patients every single week to work with, then you're not constantly trying to like claw to a bigger number or have this like yo-yo roller coaster effect. So let's look at how we can do this. The real key to doing this is, well, I always say don't put all your eggs in one basket, right? Make sure that you're not putting all your efforts and energy into one way to get new patients. You want to have lots of ways, and you want to have autopilot new patient outlets. So write that down. Autopilot new patient outlets. I'm getting serious. Jacket's coming off. Okay. So autopilot new patient avenues. So what this means, what we want to look at is how many things do you have set up or how many things could you set up that just bring in new patients for you so much so that you almost forget they're there. And when you ask like, how'd you hear about us? Someone will say like, oh, I picked up your flyer at Starbucks or whatever, and you're like, oh God, you're thinking, I forgot that we even had that there. So I like to think in terms of old school and new school, and you need both. And then how much you need of which one depends on your area. Like if you're in the big city or a rural area. So if you're in a more rural area, you're going to want to do more like 60-70% kind of old school methods, and then the rest new school, or sprinkle in some new school. And vice versa, right? If you're in the city, you're going to need like more bright, shiny new school methods to be seen, to stand out. You have more competition. Like a lot of people that are in small towns, will tell me, like, oh, it's tricky. We have such a small town, there's only 10,000 people here. But then when I travel from office to offices, what I find is the offices often in small towns that are killing it and doing so good because you either have very little competition or you're so superior to the competition that you do have, right? You get to be the go to. So if you think about it, if you only have 10,000 people in your town, 2,000 like my town, that's way more people than you have capacity to see. So there's plenty of opportunity for new patients. So keeping that in mind, so write down the amount of people that are in your town. If you need to do a quick Google search, write that down, and then ask yourself, hey, if we even saw 5%, right, of those, 10% of those, like we'd have to expand the office. So write down that number, write down what 5% is, write down what 10% is, and see what percentage of the town do you want to help? What percentage of the town is your capacity? So we all kind of know, like if you've been working in the office for a while, maybe a year or more, you have a good idea of what's your max capacity for per week. Like with the team that you have, with the office space you have, probably the max we could see would be, let's say, 500, right? So if you look at it as percentage to people in your area, you'll find it's quite small, maybe even a point of a percentage of the people that you need to reach and get to meet your new patient goals. Okay, so let's start with old school. I'm kind of an old school girl, if you haven't noticed. Let's start with old school methods. So never underestimate the power of like hard copy invites. So I know we talked about this, I believe it was last week when we talked about dinner with the doctors and lunch and learns. We talked about always having invitations. So any type of workshop or event you have, create an invitation that's like really beautiful, maybe on cardstock, where you can order these in bulk. Like make sure it doesn't have time or like specific day. Like let's say you have a workshop every Thursday, make sure it just says like Thursday at 4 o'clock, right? But not which Thursday type of thing. So you should always have at least one invitation into your office that's generic, like that you could print 1,000 of and it's not going to change, right? So if you have a workshop, you can do it for that. If you don't have a workshop, maybe it's like, come see us, come get a tour and receive 10% off, like whatever it is, some sort of invitation, some sort of call to action that has your information, has a call to action to come in. And I just say invitation because you want it to look like an invite. Like it could be you're invited, you're invited to better health, whatever. Ask each other. I know that you guys have tons of ideas. Actually, if anybody here has an invitation, feel free to throw a picture in the chat box just to give other team members ideas. So then these, I always look within like 5 to 10 miles of the office and see where could you post these when you're going anyways. So don't make extra work for yourself. Keep 10 of them in your purse. And when you run into did you know Starbucks even has bulletin boards? Every Starbucks has a bulletin board with like local things. It's usually by the bathroom. So if you're running into Starbucks, wherever you're going, ask, hey, can I hang this on your window? Or, it's our mission to help make this the healthiest year of all for our little town of Cranberry or wherever you live, right? So ask and or invite, like I would like to just order my drink and be like, hey, we're down this, did you know there's a chiropractic office right down the street? You're totally invited to come in anytime you need. Can I give you this invite? And also, can I put one on the board for people? So if you can tell the staff just really quickly, like without a long speech, that's huge so that they know and then they'll just start to promote it for you. So local boards, invitations, I can't tell you how many times I put those up and like nothing would happen, for days or weeks or months. And then we would get calls and I'd be like, oh my God, I totally forgot that I had put a flyer for our office at the Lululemon store down the street. But then we would get calls from people at Lululemon like, oh, we will need to book an appointment. So think about that. Who can you invite? The other thing that you want to do, and this is old school, in addition to these flyers. Okay, well, wait, with the flyers, task patients with it. So I know this is kind of the same thing as like dinner with the doc or lunch and learn, but you ask patients, you say, hey, we have these new invitations to come into our office. Anyone that has these, I saw an office, they call them golden tickets, like a golden ticket. Anyone that has a golden ticket um, gets 20% off or whatever. Or you also get a free adjustment when someone brings in your golden ticket. So, however you want to do it, there's so many clever ways to do it. And you give them this golden ticket and you maybe say, like, each patient gets five, like, you have access to five of these, where you can invite five people at this special. And so you give them out. You say, "Hey, will you do me a favor? Will you keep these in your purse? I've written your name on them, so when people bring them in, we know that you're the one that referred them. Would you keep these in your purse? And when you feel moved, when you find the right people that need us or people that are committed to a healthier life, will you please give these to them?" So then you're tasking patients. So let's think about this here. Now, most of you in this group have at least 150 visits per week on your calendar, right? So let's just say, lowballing it, let's say 100 patients, right? 100 patients have five flyers they give out. They're in their purse, they're trickling them out. You give each patient five flyers. They keep on them in their purse and in their truck glove box if it's a dude, right? That's 500 new patients that will trickle in at different times with these. Now, of course, some people will forget. So let's say half remember. 250. Is that pretty good? Would you like 250 new patients that were zero extra work to get? Right? So you're also teaching your patients to refer through these physical flyers where they have something that they can take with them. So you got your flyers, then you have your power partners. So go ahead and throw in the chat if you already have power partners and how many. Just throw in a number. Like, I have 3 power partners, I have 10. Okay, Haley, what are power partners? If that's you, your power partners are other local businesses that you refer back and forth to. So other local businesses that are aligned with you, you refer back and forth to. Oh no, zero. Okay. So if you have zero, write down right now what would be the 5 best within, let's say, 15 miles of the office. Your 5 most desired power partners, right? So maybe it's a yoga studio, maybe it's a massage therapist, maybe it's that Lululemon or Athletica store down the street. Think about who promotes their own business good because they're going to promote yours well, right? So who in locally is like killing it on Instagram or promoting popular places? Maybe it's a restaurant, right? And then also think about which businesses are aligned with like health and wellness. So do you have a vitamin shop or even just you know, let's say you are in a bigger city and you have like a Whole Foods, right? Go to Whole Foods, talk to the people that work in the vitamin section, right? When you're there anyways, doing your shopping. Tell them about it. Give them some flyers and some brochures. Ask them if they'll be your power partners where you can refer back and forth. So, and did you know some grocery stores like Whole Foods you can teach classes and workshops at? Like, they will host your workshop if it's health aligned. So that could be a really great location for a workshop. They have cooking classes and stuff like that. Okay, so old school marketing, you've got your flyers, you've got your power partners, your referral power partners. And I would like to see each office have at least 5 other businesses that are constantly referring to you. But it goes both ways. You got to refer back to them. So you would ask them, like, do you have coupons, brochures, something I can keep in my coupon drawer? When I hear a patient that needs this or needs some nutritional counseling, we don't offer that in our office, but everybody needs it. So, what do you have that I could give to them to spread the word about what you do? So, it's an exchange. You take their coupons or whatever, you give them yours. Let's help each other build up our businesses. So, who is there anyone here that's thinking, oh my God, I already have a million things to do. How am I going to do this too? Right? I want you to think of it this way. You're putting gas in the engine now for the vacation you're taking tomorrow, right? Like if you're going on vacation tomorrow and you put some gas in your car, you're going to get further faster tomorrow. And then you don't have to worry about getting gas in your tank in the morning when you're scrambling to leave for your trip. It's all ready to go. So the other thing is you split this up over time. So make like 2 action steps per week. Like maybe this week, I'm going to make a flyer. Maybe next week, I'm going to start bringing the flyers with me and, ask 5 patients to bring the flyers, or have each team member ask 1 patient to take 5 flyers home. You know what I mean? So just make it really easy, break it down. And I hope that you guys are doing this as I'm sharing, like actually writing out how we're going to do this. Like, okay, this week, make flyer. Next week, do this. Following week, do this. So take action now in this call so that by the time our hour together is finished, you've done a lot of the work. Like your footprint is laid out. That's my goal with you guys, is not to add more work, but actually take work away and make this time like a mastermind working hour together where we're brainstorming brilliance and getting stuff done. Does that sound good? Yes. Okay. So that's kind of your old school marketing, your word of mouth going around. And then someone here shared when they were doing, where did it go? I'm trying to see who. When we're doing, who said, I'll just ask you guys, when we're doing expos, where did the expo one go? Go ahead and take yourself off mute. Also, if you're not joining by video, please do. We'd love to see you. Oh, it helped attract new patients when we went to the expo and our local events as a team. Okay, perfect. So here's another new patient funnel. So today, again, we're talking, how do you always have 10-digit new patients? We've just addressed some old school marketing that is going to bring in an unpredictable amount, but they're just trickling in, trickling in. So maybe you get 1 patient a week from old school marketing that you've put out. But guess what? That's 1 more new patient a week than you had before. So the other one is expos and events that you go to as a team. So Miranda, will you share with us what that looked like? Can you expand on that a little bit? We have a couple teams in here that haven't done events before. So will you share with us why that was so helpful?
So the expo we went to, it was a Wayland Expo. It was kind of like all local businesses have like their booth set up, and ours was set up. And we did the rolling thermal scan on people's necks, and like we're showing them like um where their stress was showing in their symptom. Like I think what we would say to them, sorry, it's been a couple months ago. I'm trying to remember
Oh, it's good.
the lines that we said. It was like, when was the last time you measured your stress? And then we would do this scan on people, and the doctors would explain like what their scans meant and where their, like they'd show them the spinal nerve chart and show them like what that's affecting. And then we gave out, I think it was a $39 new patient like appointment special.
Nice. Awesome. So you could literally use the same special, the same thing across the board. Like that could be the same flyer that you're putting up, the same invites you're giving out. You know what I mean? So make your work easy. Don't make these all individual jobs. Make it one thing. Like I'm making one flyer. We use it for the expos. We use it for this. We use it for that. So super, super cool. I love that. Expos and events. So let's look at what are the ones in your area. So write down any that you know of in your area that you've seen before. Like here, sounds weird, but probably the biggest event where we could acquire the most new patients, maybe even bring in an expert like James Chester to run the booth for us, or maybe we go as a team. It would be at the farm show. We have like a farm show once a year where thousands of people go through, and a lot of those people are local because there's farmers around. So, what would local events be? Really local, like in my town, would be like a very small music festival, but you'd probably have 500 people from the town there. So, what are some events you've gone to in the last year? I know we've done this before. Throw them in the chat. Events, expos. What are, think even weekly, monthly, like weekly. Do you have a weekly farmers market? That's a great spot for chiropractors to have a booth. And you don't have to commit to weekly. You do it once a quarter, you do it once a month. You go to the farmers market. It's super fun too. And health oriented people, farmers market people, go to chiropractors or want to go to chiropractors. So that's a really good one. Raise your hand if you have farmers market in your area. Beautiful. Throw in the chat events that you have, that would be good ideas. Also, setting up a booth, if you've done it before or once you figure out how to do it, and reach out if you need more training on this. Just like Miranda shared this structure, you could do that anywhere. Like, think of the Girl Scouts, right? They set up outside of a grocery store, outside of a vitamin shop. You have to obviously get permission from the business owner, but you could set these up yourself anywhere, especially with the spring coming. That's why we're taking more focus on old school marketing, because we're coming into spring when the weather's nice and there's more events and more things to do. Um, oh, cool. So people are sharing here seasonal events. Beautiful, beautiful. Check that out in the chat. Okay, so let's talk about in-house. So in-house, you're giving flyers, invites, but are we asking for referrals on a daily basis? I know this is something like Erin's gotten really good at. She's been with us for a while here, where you're actually asking for internal referrals. Like, who do you know that we could help? Who do you know that's also suffering from headaches? Your headaches have gotten better, right? Who do you know that has headaches? Who do you know that is a child? You know, we specialize in helping kids here. Do you have kids? Do you have nieces and nephews? You know, your very first misalignments come from birth and cause disease in people's bodies their whole life and cause sickness, cause disease. So what if you could eliminate that now? Could you imagine if you would have got started getting adjusted when you were a little kid? Could you imagine like how much easier your life would be now, how much healthier you'd be now? So asking these questions that inspire patients to really take responsibility for internal referrals. So when you go through your pre-shift huddle every day and you're setting intentions for patients, is that in there? Are you oftentimes setting intentions? When you look at the schedule, is the intention for, let's say, at least 20, 30% of the patients to ask for referrals? Even 5% would be amazing. But are you touching that? Are you hitting it every day? And if not, how, write down the answer to how could I ask for more referrals? Or when could I do this? And then you'll begin to get resourceful and think, well, I'm the person that does re-exams or I do x-rays. That's kind of undivided attention with a patient for 5 to 10 minutes. Or I do laser or the scans on patients. And there's always that little bit of silence in between. There's a little extra time where maybe I could ask for a referral. Maybe when I'm running their credit card, our machine's kind of slow and annoying. Maybe that's my time when it's slow and it's processing to print the receipt. Maybe that's when I ask them for referrals. I ask them who do they know that they want to enjoy the same freedom that they have here in the office. So think of a time, and we're totally practicing using the chat box today. So think of a time and throw it in the chat box for me think of a time in your day, in your shift, where there's those few moments that you could ask for a referral. Is it when a card is processing? Is it when you're doing laser, like something in your role in the office? When would be a really good time to ask for a referral? Oh, cool. There's a balloon festival. When we're doing scans during exams or re-x-rays, re-exams are like the best time because they're so excited about their results. I love that. Thanks, Sarah. Okay, who else has ones to add? In your role, when's that moment in time that would be so easy on the daily? Oh, perfect. Okay, so Rita asked, what if there isn't one-on-one time? Um, if there isn't one-on-one time, would this be like if you did billing in the back office or didn't interact with patients? You want to take yourself off mute, Rita?
Um, yeah, so what if there isn't one-on-one time and it's kind of awkward, like when they're doing their exercises or doing traction and it's
Yeah.
just like a quick, like 5-second setup?
Oh, for sure. That's fine. That's really all you need is like 5 seconds. Like if you're putting them in traction. So you always want to make sure like you're either educating or asking for a referral in those 5 seconds. And so for those types of offices, I like to ask like what I think of it as seeds. Like what seed can I plant? Like, okay, maybe we don't grow the whole freaking bush and chop off or get the oranges from the orange tree in this 5 seconds, but maybe I plant a seed. Like maybe today in the 5 seconds, I say, hey, did you know that these nerves in your neck, I'm putting them in neck in cervical traction, they go right to your thyroid. That's why patients feel more energized doing this traction. Maybe the next time they come in, maybe I ask like, have you noticed like improved energy or what have you noticed in your health? So both of those were under 5 seconds, right? Maybe the next time I come in, like, hey, I remember last time you said you've noticed improved energy or less headaches. That's great. Who do you know that could benefit from improved energy? And they may tell you, but you're like, again, 5 seconds taking them out. Great. I have something for you up front. Will you stop by the front? I'm going to put something up front for you to grab on your way out for your sister Jane. So whoever they said, that's the power of having something physical to give to them. Um, if you're the one running around and you're not like sitting up front and passing out flyers, right? All you would need to do when you're running around is like quickly write down their name. If you don't have this and the opportunity presents today, use a freaking business card of the doctors. Like literally, if they give you a name, write the name of their friend on a business card of a doctor's and put it up front or ask whoever's up front, like, hey, will you give this to Jane on the way out? Or I write the name really quick, I hand it to them when they're in traction. Hey, hang on to this. This is for your friend Jane. Literally, business card. Did that help, Rita? Oh, cool. She did some thumbs up. Yeah. So you don't have to have like a whole conversation, just 5 seconds here and there. You're asking, what seed can I plant in this 5 seconds? Make it matter. Make moments matter. So if I only have 5 seconds with a patient, I'm going to make those powerful 5 seconds. I'm going to impact their life in those 5 seconds rather than say nothing. Maybe some days you realize the best way you can impact their life that day is to say nothing, right? And to just be there and hold space for them. So very cool. I'm glad that you brought that up. I bet there's
Thank
others
you.
in that boat. Yeah, of course. Um, okay, and so the best time to do this for internal referrals is after celebrating a win, right? They've gotten an improvement. I celebrate that with them. I always follow up with, who do you know that you want this for? Who do you know that we can help? So you're putting responsibility. And what's cool about this, I will share my offices that are really good at celebrating wins and asking for referrals. They get most of their new patients from referrals. So they usually get about a minimum of 5 a week that are just from referrals from their patients talking about that. You could have a fully functioning practice where all your new patients come from referrals. I will say I've noticed this around and after the 200 visits a week mark. When you're below that, you can get a ton of patient referrals, but it's not quite enough to feed and sustain the practice. But once you kind of pass that 200 patient visit, you tend to have enough patients that if you're good at asking for internal referrals and if you've taught patients to do that, they will feed your practice for you. You could have those double digit new patients from just that one thing, just internal referrals. But there's more. We're not going to rely on only that because we don't like to have all our eggs in one basket, right? So there's your attraction piece, right? The internal referrals. And then the other thing that we want to look at is what can you just put on autopilot that is marketing, like online marketing campaigns. And maybe this is something like every February, some of you saw my February Love Your CA special, right? So in February, we send a Love Your CA special for new clients that want to give their CA some extra support, show them they appreciate them. So, what are some things that you could create that could be reoccurring? Like every year in this month, we do like Love Your Family special because it's February. And then whenever you make something or someone on your team makes something, keep it for the following year or month or quarter so that you're not constantly redoing the work. Does that make sense? So you may even find, like, if you guys use MailChimp or an email campaign, you may even look back a little bit. Brittany was really good at doing this when she joined our team. She looked back and said, what are things they've done in the past that worked, and found things that other team members or myself had created and brought them back to life. So let's not reinvent the wheel. Let's look at, hey, what worked? And let's just do it again. So maybe every single month you do some sort of offer on email and you just have it set to automatically go out, right? You even forget, you receive the email yourself and you're like, oh, I forgot that was in there. And then people are calling in. So what do you have on your email list? How are you utilizing your email list for new patients? That's going to be one of your ways to get to 10-digit new patients. Not a focus because not very many people open emails anymore, right? You'll get a few, not a ton from that. In our activation calls, which we've already covered this year. So go back and do the rewatch if you need to know how to do that, and scripting. So your reactivation calls is how you can get new patients. Your events, right? Your dinner with the doctors, your lunch and learns. So more online things, your social media. So are you being seen? Are you out there on social media? Do a thumbs up if CAs do their social media in your office. Give me a thumbs up. And then give me like a heart if you have somebody, an outside person that you hire for this, for marketing, social media marketing. Heart or thumbs up. Give a thumbs down if you don't have any social media marketing at all. I'm not seeing anything here, guys. Join us by camera. If we're not gonna emoji participate, join us by camera. Give me actual physical thumbs ups, hearts, or thumbs downs. Okay. CA's doing the office. Okay, perfect. So for this one, if you're already doing it, just look at how can we be more strategic and bridge the gap to new patients. So I do a call to action at the end of everyone, even if it's super subtle. You do a post, this patient got great results, or it's Fun Fact Friday and drink more water, blah, blah, blah. Right. And then a call to action, like for more fun facts, follow us here on Instagram, or for more fun facts, follow us on Facebook. For more fun facts for a healthier life, click on the link tree in Instagram. So make sure there's always a call to action that is either getting them to another place where they have exposure to your office online, or to actually come into your office, right? So maybe you do something special like a giveaway in your office, and they can come in and enter a contest for a giveaway or whatever, come in for their appointment. So does that make sense? You guys picking up what I'm putting down without being like totally redundant? Okay, cool. So look at do your own social media audit and like go through social medias. You could do it right now even on this call. Look at your Facebook or Instagram, your Twitter, whatever social medias you do. Actually throw in the chat which social medias do you participate in as an office? What do you use? Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, our website, a MailChimp, like anything online. Facebook, Insta, TikTok, Facebook, Insta, TikTok, Facebook website. Perfect. Okay, cool. So if you scan each one for 2 minutes, or let's say 20 seconds, you scan for 20 seconds, is it obvious how they can come in? So if you go on your office Instagram account for 2 seconds, because that's about how long people look, right? For 2 seconds, is it obvious how they can come in? Do you have a link tree? Do you have your phone number up on top? So is it super obvious where the consumer can just click and go? So that's really the main thing that you need. A lot of times people have amazing websites, amazing social media. You're doing the posts, you're doing the things, but it's just not quite easy enough. Like the phone number isn't clickable, let's say, or the website isn't clickable. You know what I mean? Or I'm sorry, the email address, So eliminate steps for the consumer on your social media. That will bring you more new patients, eliminating steps for the consumer. Make it easier for them to come in. And then consistency, every social media person, every marketing person that you talk to that's honest will say that you have to have consistency in your posting. So if you don't, go back to our topic when we covered this, do the rewatch on like social media marketing and putting together a calendar of like weekly what you post when, monthly, the whole thing. Does that make sense? Yes. Okay. So we've covered a lot of different areas where any one of these things can create those double-digit new patients. But by plugging away and making sure that you're feeding each one of these weekly, monthly, it's going to make your office grow on autopilot where you have a couple patients coming from this, couple from this, couple from this, and then it becomes effortless. And then too, it's very predictable. So if there's one week where you're like, we don't want 10 new patients, we want 15, we want 20. Oh, all we need to do is schedule a talk. Or, oh, all we need to do is run a promo on Facebook. And we've seen this before, we've done it before, and it's worked to get those extra new patients. So you should be able to, as a CA, predict your new patients each week and know how to make more, how to make less, how to control that number. Does that make sense? Yes? Give me some thumbs up if you had some good takeaways from today. And then I want to open up for a Q&A and open up for anything you want to share that you thought of today during the talk. I know we put them in the comments. Anything you want to share that you've done that's brought new patients. Okay. So Q&A on any topic, and then anything you want to share with the group to bring new patients, or questions you have, like, Haley, would you guys do this? Other offices, have you tried this? Is this successful? We're looking for the most new patients for the least amount of work for you guys. What do you want to share? Questions, thoughts, comments? Questions, thoughts, comments. Questions on other topics? Any questions? Well, then, without further ado, let's talk about Easter. We've got some holidays coming up. We have Easter and we have St. Patrick's Day. We have Mother's Day and Father's Day. So start thinking about what are you going to do in the office for those holidays that's special. So my favorite St. Patrick's Day one I've seen offices do is they put together a pot of gold. And the pot of gold literally is just like a cute pot that has some gold coins in it, and it has some lotto tickets in it as well. And then they have a raffle that patients could enter into the raffle. But make sure anytime you do raffles that they have to do something in order to get the raffle, right? They have to do something to get a ticket to go in there, or multiple things. Maybe you have 10 things they can do, and each one of those things they get a lotto ticket. Like, hey, give us 5 stars on our Facebook page, you get a lotto, or you get a ticket to enter into the raffle. Sorry, not lotto ticket, raffle ticket. So you could do a pot of gold that way. You could do a pot of gold. Like I've seen people use a gardening pot and put like seeds and shovels, like springtime things. If you're in like an outdoorsy area, like springtime things, like, and call it the pot of gold, but it's all gardening supplies. And same thing, I would say like the lotto ticket gold coin ones are funky and more popular, or maybe you even put money in there, like $100 bill. And so how cool is that? To get the first ticket, they write a review, right? To get the second ticket, they refer someone in. To get the third ticket, like just make a bunch of fun things that they could do to get tickets for this. So that's my favorite St. Patrick's Day one. I'll do a little video for you guys for more ideas for Easter coming up, and Mother's Day and Father's Day. For Mother's Day, I've seen offices give flowers, like roses, to each woman. They'll go to like Costco and buy roses in bulk, and every woman that comes in gets a flower. You know, you start doing it that way. So I know you guys did a lot of cool stuff for Valentine's. Let's do this. Post in the group pictures and ideas for these upcoming holidays. Let me know if I missed any. I know we just had President's Day. So we have Easter, St. Patrick's Day, Mother's Day, Father's Day. So we're looking at how can we appreciate, how can we give gratitude, education, and build the practice. So gratitude, education, and referrals. How can we maximize this holiday? For gratitude, education, and referrals. So I would do one thing for each holiday. What's one way we can give gratitude, encourage people to give gratitude for Mother's Day? What's one way we can maximize Mother's Day? For referrals, like a special, we could do a mom special. What's one way that we can educate patients on this? Did you know that moms tend to be the decision makers when it comes to the healthcare of their family? You know, for that reason, you could use our Mother's Day special, not just for, you know, you, but your whole family. So, education portion. Does that make sense? Cool. I'll do a quick video because that'll take more time of these holidays and different ideas for each one for you guys. And I'll post it in the group. And then if you have ideas to add, please do pictures of things you've done in the past. You guys are awesome. Have a beautiful week. See you later. Thanks for being here.